Hello YouTube. Today we got Lenovo Thinkpad E555. PowerJackRepair.org. Let me see. Is it straight enough? Like that. It says E555 right there. The problem is obviously the power connector. Right there. Right there. You see a whole bunch of pins. You shouldn't be able to see a whole bunch of pins. You should be able to see a black central rectangular piece. Now I probably won't be replacing the whole jack and the docking port at the same time. I'm just gonna remove the jack and the docking port and just put something compatible in terms of the jack. Now this laptop is made in Bratislava, Slovakia, same place where they make Porsche Cayenne. That's the model from the bottom. And as you know, the reliability of Porsche Cayenne, it's extremely reliable vehicle. Same as the, let me change the bit on this drill. So we're gonna take it apart, replace the jack, put everything back together, hopefully it works. So many screws. They just don't stop. I mean, you could just use one screw to hold everything together. Seriously. This is just insane. Alright, I'm just not sure what needs to be disconnected, so I disconnect everything. Make sure all of the screws are out. Alright. Let's flip this thing over. Alright, so there are two cables under the keyboard. One, and two. You don't need any special tools, just a nail. Alright, so we got the board right here. As you can see, it's pretty broken. So I'm gonna go look for something I could replace this thing with. Alrighty, so I was in luck that I have exactly the same motherboard laying around in the new parts bin. This is the old one, that's the new one. The only problem is I did get the replacement board online, and I just checked it, and it turns out it has exactly the same problem with the jack. It also has a broken jack. So when you buy stuff online, make sure it arrives and it's not broken. Um, so anyway, I have the jack, the replacement jack, the whole jack and the docking port right there. The only problem is there's no problem. It's all doable. The thing is, we charge a flat rate fee for jack replacements, but when it comes to soldering all of those little tiny legs right there, it's not so much soldering all of them, it's mostly desoldering all of them properly. And when it comes to this particular laptop, the problem is, can I solder this whole port in there and everything's gonna work fine? Yes, I can. The amount of time it takes me to properly solder this is gonna be a lot longer. We're talking about 20 to 30 times longer than just taking this guy out, getting rid of all of those pins in the back right here, and just putting this guy in and making sure that only the power jack gonna work. Because sometimes happens that if one of those pins is not desoldered properly right there, it's starts to short to a component next door, or maybe if you put too much solder, it's gonna short on the other end, and then the whole system doesn't work. So to not take any chances, I usually, when it comes to those ports, nobody uses those docking ports anyway on those Lenovo. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this jack without worrying about too much about those connections. I'm gonna cut these connections off right here, the docking port connections, and I'm just gonna install this jack inside, and it's gonna work just for the power purpose, not for the docking. So just for the future, we do have those jacks, but I'm not gonna be installing all of those. It's not worth my time, and it's not worth, I mean, I could do about 4 or 5 repairs of the power jacks, of regular power jacks, in the same amount of time as this takes me to just properly solder this guy in there. It's no big deal. We do USB Type-C jacks as well. I mean, those are much more microscopic, but the thing is, every time I have to look under the microscope, I get a headache from it. So I prefer not to get headache from the microscope unless I'm getting paid for it. We don't really get paid too much for jack repairs, because this laptop isn't worth that much for me to do it properly. I understand that some of you might say, oh, dislike because you guys don't want to do it. No, I mean, I don't mind doing so. It's really time consuming, guys. Try it. It takes a long time. So which one was the, okay, so this is the original board. All right. Is the USB port also broken? The USB port might also be broken. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insulate the area with the Kapton tape to prevent any components flying off the motherboard. And I'm gonna put some Kapton tape on top so that the plastic won't be melting as much when I'm gonna putting the whole thing under the hot air station. Now the goal is for the nearby components not to get damaged. I mean, in worst case, I got this another board, the brand new, so to speak, brand new board, which is not brand new, which came from eBay, and yeah, so here. So other replacement parts available, yeah, but all of them have exactly the same problem. All of them have a broken connector. So we're just gonna do something like that. I want to insulate the entire board because there's gonna be a lot of, this is really stinky laptop, sticky jack to work on, because the whole plastic gonna melt and it's gonna smell all over the place. So just trying to, yeah, I honestly don't really like, I mean, I don't like this I don't like Lenovo in general. It's the worst laptops ever been made or produced. Just total garbage. But some people buy it. But most of the people who buy it are, it's mostly governments because there are kickbacks involved. Because if I work for Lenovo, I could. So I mean, if anybody in the government wanna hire me as a chief technical officer, I could work for free, as long as I can get kickbacks from Lenovo's and. Or if it's a school districts do like to, it's like doctors, you know, they only prescribe you the pills for which they get a kickback, but if they don't get a kickback, you're not getting any pills. Right now, almost the end of 2020, and really bad situation happening in the United States, and we will hopefully not gonna see that how the medical field in the United States really has degraded. So same with Lenovo's. I mean, Lenovo it's really bad laptops. And you can watch thousands of these videos on this channel thanks to Lenovo AVM business. Lenovo, Asus, HP, MSI, all of those gaming laptops. That's the reason I'm in business, and that's the reason maybe one day I would be able to afford a Porsche from Bratislava, same place. No, probably never gonna happen because I don't want to buy garbage cars or laptops. So yeah, you see how I insulated the whole motherboard, because it's a small board. It's gonna be heating up quite nicely, and I'm afraid that nearby components might follow the motherboard. So my goal is to put as much flux as possible on those guys, add as much solder as possible, and on both sides, and then use the hot air to drop this guy out of the equation. All right, so let's switch to the soldering. All right, and we will have to play with the autofocus in a bit, because this thing doesn't want to be focusing properly. So stay with me. All right. Power up the exhaust. Let's see what we can do for the okay, so like that looks good. Yeah, looks good. Hopefully that's gonna stay like that. Let's put the gloves on. That's the main trick. You have to mix the old solder with the new solder, otherwise nothing gonna come out of there. Are we still in focus? Alrighty, now we're gonna bring in the heavy artillery, like that. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Alright, so I wanna move all of that towards the end of my exhaust chamber because it's gonna smell pretty bad. Let's see if the focus is still focused. Is it still focused? Looks good, right? Yeah, okay. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put something like that here. Let's power up the hot air station. Alrighty, had to shut down the exhaust. Well, anyways. As you can see, factory-like soldering on both sides. Dirty laptops leave a whole bunch of residue on my fingers. Alright, so what we want to do is I want to insulate this area on the bottom. Why the fingers so? All of the chemicals. I want to insulate it on the bottom because there is lots of metal parts here, all of which are well tightened. And let's see, drop it like that. I mean, who in his right mind would do a connection for the voltage to be through the ribbon cable? I mean, seriously, this is just absurd. Alright. Alright. Looks good to me. Yeah, I didn't have to disconnect this whole thing here. So you might want to connect. You might not want to disconnect all of that because it was unnecessary. I went a little bit too much above and beyond. Oh, no. Here. This is the cable that conducts the electricity to the main motherboard. I was thinking it's the ribbon cable on the other side, but now it's right here. This guy. And okay. Like that. Just while I was pressing the cable from the bottom, it came out of the right place. Okay, so let's connect the top cover. Oops. All right. Cable right there. All screws are the same here. all screw right here in the way, so I kind of had to get it done right now. Yeah, Slovakian engineering. I mean, serious, this is just like some toxic stuff on my fingers. I have to go really sanitize my hands from this. That's the drawback of this profession. Always smelling and inhaling this solder. Okay. That's good. Gonna put some tape on it. So that in case the cables come loose, they won't be flying all over. At least I put a SSD drive in it, but the company is called Pioneer. I didn't expect Pioneer would make a solid state drives. Well, maybe they bought another company. Alright, so silver screws are holding the hard drive down. Alright. Alright, good job. Now what we do is we just screw everything down. Nothing is connecting here, so something is missing here and there. So many screws, guys. I mean, this is just, if they would put more thought into developing a right laptop for the right crowd. Alright, so we got one more right there. And you know what, this one is not the right one right here. Probably not, this one's gonna go right here. And this one probably gonna go. Okay. That looks correct, yeah. Well, maybe not. Hold on. No, I think it's too much, and I hope I didn't penetrate the motherboard. That would be just stupid. This seems like not the... And I don't have any other screws left except this one. So let's see. Nope, it should be covered. Another small screw from here. You know, I think it's a small screw. Don't put one of those longer ones through into there. Hopefully nothing got damaged because the screw wasn't the right size. Alright, so here, like that. Right, and like that. And since all of the screws are missing, we have to be putting this thing like that. Okay. Oh, this just doesn't look right. And that doesn't even... So there's one screw that's intact. Everything else okay. Alright, so here we squeeze this into here. Like that. Okay, good job. Alright, good job. So the battery is still original, made in Bratislava/China. And I need to find another power supply like that to make sure it's gonna work. So stay with me. Alright, so unfortunately the client didn't send us the laptop, so we had to take power supply. We had to create something like that. A dongle with a bunch of adapters. Let's plug it in. Something blinking right here. Something blinking is a good sign that something is gonna probably maybe work. Yeah. Okay, I want to put more tape right here because this is just not. This tape doesn't hold it well enough. So I'm gonna be putting the Captain tape. Yes, it doesn't look great, but this is gonna hold everything just fine. Let's see. Like that. Good job. Alright, do we get any charge lights anywhere, or this is the only thing you can get blinking right here. So you press the power button, we get Lenovo Lenovo sign, and checksum is bad F1 to F1. Let's see. The time and date changed because I disconnected the battery. So 11, no, not 11, 10, 04, 11, 26, 11, 26. Alright, so F10, save and exit. Well, the good sign, the laptop does work. I'm just not sure if it's working from the power supply or from the battery or what's happening. But once we load up, we will see what's going on. And I said, hey, 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 hey. And I say, hey, what's going on? So technically I still couldn't get all of the chemicals off of my fingers. Alright, so it probably needs a password and it's not gonna, well, this we're gonna put aside. Put this into here, because I could still fix this guy and sell it on eBay as refurbished. Alright, so let's see. Come on, it's loading up. Just wanted to show you. And here, as you can see, the battery is being charged. The touchpad is working. Is that all it's gonna give me? Right there. 69%, 33 minutes, fully charged. So we can experiment. We can disconnect it's brand new, so it's quite tight. So right now it switches to the battery, like that, and we connect it back. Alright. And it's switching to the connected from the power supply. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you have exactly the same issue. We are at powerjackrepair.org fixing that stuff all day, every day for the last 20 years or so. Thank you. Have a good day.